on this week's programme. Electric tuk-tuks is almost silent. The suspension's still the same though. Fat phobia and the woman that beat it. And look away now if you don't like snakes. Starting our journey in Sri Lanka's capital city, Colombo, where the true kings of the roads are the tuk-tuks, also known as auto rickshaws or three-wheelers. And where honking seems to be a national sport. Nothing like the great honking horn of a giant bus to put fear in you. So there's actually over 1 million tuk-tuks here in Sri Lanka, and it definitely shows because these things are everywhere. That's a pretty high number for a country of just over 20 million people. The prospect of good money has prompted many young people to become a driver here. The number of tuk-tuks has jumped 8-fold in the past 15 years, causing a little bit of congestion on Colombo's roads. Thank you. And it's not just the pros. Driving a rented tuk-tuk is increasingly popular with tourists too. Why are you renting a tuk-tuk today? What is it about tuk-tuk that's made you go, I'm going to get in one of these today?
Well, it's because of the conveniency. I can stop it whenever I want, and I can go wherever I want.
So having that freedom is really important to you then?
Yes.
How excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, 100.
Tourists need a local driving licence to drive a tuk-tuk here, but also some practice. Okay, this definitely isn't as straightforward as I thought it was going to be. I think I need some assistance. Okay.
මේක ඇවිල්ලා නියුට්‍රල් එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ අනිවාර්යෙන්. මේක මේ සමන් ක්ලච් එක මේක ඇක්සලරේටර් එක. එතකොට මේක ගියර් එක දාලා තිබුණොත් ගලපානිනවා, okay?
Tushari has been a tuk-tuk driver for 4 years. Female drivers remain a rare sight in Sri Lanka, but times are slowly changing.
ඒක නිසා හැමතිස්සම මේක නියුට්‍රල් එකේ තියලා
So it
තමයි
has to stay in neutral otherwise I'll jerk forward.
Oh, yes.
Gotcha.
හෝන් ගොඩක් හෝන් එක තදින් ගහගෙන හිටියොත් ඒක තරහ. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙහෙම දාන එකට. ඒත් අපි හායි කියන නම් හෝන් එකකින් කරන්න පුළුවන්.
So the horn is my friend.
Friends,
in
yes.
all cases, yeah. Right. So they're your top tips.
Yes, madam.
I think I'm ready for the road. Thank you.
Thanks, madam.
You can really feel that lack of suspension. And there are so many potholes here. Once you reach that level of comfort with driving, the best thing about driving a tuk-tuk is you can just take in all the gorgeous scenery. And on my left is the beautiful ocean. But the gentle ocean breeze isn't enough to disperse the emissions produced by the millions of vehicles on Sri Lanka's roads. Air pollution in its capital city regularly exceeds the levels recommended by the World Health Organization. 10 years ago, the government banned the import of the most polluting rickshaws, the two-stroke engines, but several hundreds of thousands remain on the roads. So the pollution definitely isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's definitely palpable. In fact, I think I just ate some. As part of the global fight against climate change, Sri Lanka has pledged to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions by 30% by 2030. This man hopes his invention will help achieve his country's goals. So this is what you've been working on?
Yes, this is our electric tuk-tuk. This didn't really look like this earlier. It was a very old chassis that I used. And we've basically taken the engine off from here and fixed the motor to the old gearbox. And then we have the battery pack that is placed under the seat.
Sasiranga de Silva won a UN award for creating a simple kit which converts petrol tuk-tuk engines to electric. And what inspired you to develop this electric technology? What's the inspiration behind it?
As you can see, Sri Lanka is a beautiful country.
Yes, it is.
But since recently, we've noticed that the emission levels are going high, and
Yeah.
so the respiratory diseases, the levels of diseases are going high there. So I thought, as an engineer, I'll try to do my best to, sort of contribute to bring the emissions down in Sri Lanka.
What do you think it's going to take to get your conversion kit up and running, produced on a mass scale?
The cost is quite high, and tuk-tuk is quite a low-cost product, so
Yeah.
the conversion price has to be, as low as possible for the drivers to afford it. So I've been doing so many research, so I can downsize the battery, so that will reduce the cost.
Yeah. Sasiranga hopes he can bring the cost of his conversion kit down by a quarter to the equivalent of about $1,700 US or £1,300. And here's another eye-catching innovation, an emission-free electric model. Of course, the litmus test will be whether electric tuk-tuks are accepted by local drivers. So this is where the magic happens. So I've asked Ashari to join me on a taster session. So this is it. Yeah, a bit different to what we're used to. Should we jump in? I'm going in the back though. Next to change to be driven around. It's so quiet, isn't it, compared to the four-stroke engine? It's almost silent. The suspension's still the same though. Still getting rattled around in the back. We're pretty lucky though. We're like among the first people to try this electric tuk-tuk. Excellent driving, excellent driving. So how was it? How did it feel?
ලේසි මැඩම් ඒ ක්ලච් එකක් නෑ ලේසියෙන් එලවන්න පුළුවන් අත්වලට අමාරු නෑ
I feel your pain.
හොඳට ස්පීඩ් කරන්න යන්න පුළුවන් හරි පහසුයි ඉතින්
And would you one day like to own one of these?
මේක යන වියදම් බැලලා ඒ කියන්නේ ගණන් කොහමද අඩු නම් වගේ පොඩ්ඩක් කරලා කොහමයි ගන්න උත්සාහ කරනවා
The issue of affordability will decide whether electric tuk-tuks are ever developed on a mass scale. But here, the project's manager is bullish about the future.
Whether we like it or not, the future is electrification of the transportation system. So I think in the next 5 years or so, it's gonna come into the streets, and even bikes and like even scooties. So it's gonna happen like in the near future. Yeah.
5 years is ambitious, but who knows? The spirit of innovation and a smattering of political will might be just enough to clear the air in Colombo. Well, stay with us because still to come. The traveller who took on the fat phobes and won. And snakes in the rainforest. How this jungle paradise is about to quadruple in size. So don't go away. Right in the heartland of Sri Lanka lies Kandy, a bustling, historical and religious town set around a tranquil artificial lake and surrounded by scenic hills. There are hundreds of hotels to choose from here in Kandy, but there's one that beats all others for one thing. Eccentricity. This hotel was built in the 1930s, and its current owner, Helga, has filled it with a mishmash of art pieces adorned with antique furniture and wall-to-wall ceiling paintings and photographs. This quirky art was originally a form of therapy.
I was going through a rather dark period myself. I was going through a very bitter divorce. And my father said, just get it out of your system, and paint it out. The first room was all black. And then came the gold monkeys, see no evil, speak and hear, It just progressed from there. And I thought, this is fun.
This place is just completely covered in beautiful old photos. So what you get is a real sense of pride in the family's history and heritage. And they've had some really famous visitors here too, like Gandhi. You've got quite an eccentric style. How would you define your style though?
Well, I didn't think I'm particularly eccentric. I mean, this is a minimalist nightmare. And as somebody said, this place doesn't have a theme. I said, life doesn't have a theme.
With the dark lighting and the cobwebs and the dark artwork along this corridor, there's really an eerie, ghostly feel to this place. I kind of feel like I'm going to meet someone or something at the end of it. There definitely was someone around. A couple freshly settled in their room for the night.
I kind of like this because the room is really nice. Like you can see it's all pink. Thank God it's not black. But I'm sure I'm not coming out of the room in the night for sure. I don't want to get killed.
Art must be fun. I like art to make people smile. I like people to smile.
Next this week, the latest part in our series about travelling differently. This time, we met the woman who decided body shamers weren't going to stop her doing what she loves most.
I'm such an explorer. I'm such a natural sort of nomadic person. I want to see the world, and so travel for me is my happy place. It's joy. When I'm in one place for too long, I feel just not myself. Like I always want to be on the go. I'm Kelly Brown. I'm a YouTuber, influencer, and traveler.
Good morning. It's our first full day in Lisbon. We actually got here yesterday. Delirium, jet lag, checking into our Airbnb. All we did was kind of take a walk around the neighborhood, but today we're out and about and we're going to explore.
So as much as travel excites me, there are things that can be sort of intimidating. Being a plus size person, you never know what levels of fat phobia you might be exposed to. You know, different cultures I think are a little bit more outwardly fat phobic, but it's not something that would stop me from going where I want to be.
Just a couple of girls on their way to Barcelona. We have a long flight and we're about to have a lot of fun. So come with us, come.
When it comes to flights, you know, I think it's something that I didn't realize how many larger people were really afraid of until I would talk about traveling on my YouTube channel.
Wanted to talk to you about traveling while fat, AKA being a plus size person who loves to travel.
And, you know, I would get comments like, you know, I'm so terrified of flying, not because I'm afraid of the plane, but I'm afraid of like how people will perceive me or my seatmate, or, you know, if I have to ask for a seatbelt extender.
I've had someone roll their eyes one time, like I was walking past their seat and it like rolled their eyes like, are you sitting with me? And I wasn't. And I ended up being lucky and having like the whole row to myself, to which I was like laid out and they were like all crushed. I'm like, that's what you get.
So I decided a long time ago to like let go of caring, or, you know, the flight attendant will like sort of pass it to you so discreetly, like, here honey, here you go. And I'm like, thank you. Click.
Just wandering down random alleys in a strange land.
Whether you're in, you know, traveling in Europe or traveling in Asia, traveling in Africa, traveling throughout the US, in Australia, you know, I think there are going to be people with an opinion about your weight no matter where you go. And so how that informs the the choices I make when it comes to travel is to not make that a thing. First thing I care about is safety and what's happening globally. Like, are they in crisis? Are they in war? Like, these are the things you think about when you're traveling, because if you worry about how every single person in any given country or city is going to receive your largeness, you wouldn't go anywhere. I could go down the street to the grocery store and someone can have an opinion about me. It's not going to prevent me from walking around the city in which I live, and so it can't prevent me from exploring the world. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your dance break.
Now, Sri Lanka is like heaven for nature lovers. Almost half the people who come here do some sort of wildlife activity. Beyond the big beasts like leopards and elephants, there's a trove of smaller critters, many you'll find nowhere else on the planet. And that's why we've come to the wet zone on the southwest of the island. Now, I know you can't see much apart from really tall trees, but Mother Nature's soundtrack is truly spectacular. This is the edge of Sri Lanka's last primary rainforest, Sinharaja. It's a hotspot for biodiversity. Rare plants, unique bird species, amphibians, and snakes all thrive here. It's so important ecologically that there are plans to quadruple it in size. The only way to explore it is by foot, and for that, you'll need some serious legwear. So the forest is also home to bloodthirsty leeches. So I've picked up these rather attractive anti-leech socks in the hope that I make it out without any of them attached to my skin. Ridma used to hike and swim in the forest as a child. It's so dense.
Yeah.
There's only a tiny bit of sunlight coming through. He now runs tours of the jungle around the island.
It's slippery.
The Sinharaja forest covers more than 8,000 hectares, but you don't need to walk very far to spot some wildlife.
Yeah, look. It's a kangaroo lizard.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't look real. Some of it is after your blood.
It's just moving until he can settle down, then he will suck blood from me.
The way it moves is creeping me out right now. And it's so small, I shouldn't really be that
When it sucks the blood, he will be size of like 3 times size.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's getting, and I can feel it.
Really?
Yeah.
And what does it feel like? Just a tiny little pinch?
Yeah, like little.
Oh yeah, you can see it getting bigger, just very
Yeah, now
slightly.
he's sucking blood.
In truth, every inch of this rainforest is buzzing with life. There are plenty of spiders, of course, but we're here for something a bit more slippery.
See? That's the green pit viper under the leaf.
Oh gosh, yeah. Almost the same colour as the leaves.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
It's a baby one.
So if this snake bites me, what happens?
It's quite painful.
Yeah.
Give you cramp and like, it's depend on your condition.
Yeah. Stay away. Ridma's expert eyes soon spotted another baby snake on our path. What's the name of this snake?
It's a ahatula, eye catcher. I catch snake because they used to on the tree in your eye level, and with this, see.
Oh, he really tried to go for you.
Yeah,
then.
he is not. It's a venom one. He don't have venoms, but it has got teeth.
Yeah.
He will bite you until it comes blood out.
Oh my God! Wow. You weren't joking, were you? And you said it was worth it.
Every time when I come into here, it's not just going to the jungle. I just come into the big giant living creature.
The rainforest is alive.
It's alive.
And is it true that there's plans to quadruple the size of the rainforest?
Yeah, it's on the papers now, and it's on the gazette. It's a big project. It takes time, and it's good because the Sinharaja gave us a lot of things, you know, like the rain to the whole other part of the country.
this is going to be a really amazing thing for Sri Lanka, across the entire country.
Not only the Sri Lanka, for the world. Yeah.
We made it! There are 104 different types of snakes in Sri Lanka. Only 6 are deadly to humans. But with about 80,000 bites a year, this country has one of the world's highest bite rates per capita. Most victims are local farmers working in paddy fields. Once they are treated in hospital, they often turn to people like Paris for the aftercare. Paris has been an Ayurvedic doctor for over 40 years. He says he's been treating more snake bites than he can remember. So this is where you make the treatment for your patients? Quite thick. Oh, this looks so painful. What happened? This villager is lucky. A bite from a hump-nosed viper can be fatal. The mixture of herbs, Paris says, will make the swelling disappear. So is this exactly what Ayurvedic treatment is, using herbs to treat snake bites? Okay, I'm not going to touch this hand, but I want to wish you all the luck with your healing process. Sounds like you're in good hands. And Pieris, it's been an honour to meet you. Thank you so much, and good luck with everything. I'm so glad I survived the crawling beasts. Well, that's all we've got time for this week, but coming up next week. Mike Corey's in Rio ahead of the biggest party of the year and finds out just how much work goes into preparing for each year's carnival.
All the welding, the sewing, the machines, everybody's working on one show, your parade.
Yes, everything.
For now, from me, Lucy Hedges, and the rest of the travel show team here in Sri Lanka, it's goodbye.